Welcome, I'm glad you're here. We are excited to have your students with us in person this year. It looks like we're going to be in person. It could change. I just had a parent ask me about an online option. There is an online option, but it's not specifically for GMS. It's just for any LAUSD student. But if you are interested in that option, your spot in GMS, you won't lose your spot in GMS if you choose the City of Angels online program. I know everyone's concerned about the variant, and I understand that. So I just wanted to make sure that that was clear, that that option is available, but it won't be the GMS program or the GMS teachers, it will be LAUSD teachers. So I just wanted to say a little bit about GMS. Our magnet program we intend our magnet program to be scalable for students. So whatever your interest is after high school, we want to accommodate you. If you want to go to a top university, we have a comprehensive campus here in Cleveland. We have a lot of AP, the advanced placement courses. We usually have Pierce College classes offered on campus here after school, which are free to high school students. And that's a great way to get credits also if you don't want to go the AP class route. But we also want our program to be a vocational program. If you want to learn how to operate a camera, do lights, go straight into the film and video industry after high school, you would have the skills to do that. So parents ask me, like, can we do this or can we do that? And really, our program is very flexible. In 9th grade, you will take a video production class. Everyone will take the video production elective. And you'll have the same teachers in GMS. I am the 9th grade English teacher, so your 9th graders, you'll have me for English. You'll have Ms. Thackeray for English in 10th grade. You might have Mr. Segovia for English in 11th grade. Ms. Manoli would most likely be your math teacher. We have a Spanish teacher that's attached to our program. We have a PE teacher that's attached to our program. But beyond the freshman year and the video elective, you can take anything Cleveland has to offer. You can be in a sport. I mean, freshman year, you can be in a sport too. You just have to figure that out in your schedule. You can be in a sport. You can be in the band. You can be a cheerleader. You can be an academic decathlon. You can take advantage of anything Cleveland has to offer, but you would be part of GMS, and we really are like a family. We have such caring and passionate teachers, and we have such caring and passionate students. I have just never seen the kind of students that we attract to GMS. They amaze me. So parents must be doing something right. Just a little bit about me. I've been at Cleveland. This is my 16th year at Cleveland. I just got a certificate in the mail from LAUSD saying thank you for your 15 years of service at LAUSD, and I was like, wow, that's really kind of nice. I've taught journalism for 14 of those years, but now I am the magnet coordinator for GMS. So Mr. Latimer, who probably you met either online or I don't think we had any in-person events last year, our beloved social studies and magnet coordinator retired, and so I'm taking over as magnet coordinator this year, and I'm really excited about it. I've been a part of what the GMS magnet is for years. Before we were GMS and a magnet, we were a program called Games. And so we've been doing what we're doing for quite a while, but it's really exciting to be doing it as a magnet program where students can come from all over who are passionate about film and come to Cleveland. So to be part of our program. I know that you probably have a lot of questions, so we will definitely leave time at the end of the presentation for specific questions, but I just wanted to give you a chance to meet us in person. That's my son. My son just finished his first year at UC Santa Cruz, and when I came to school as a parent, I just wanted to get a feel for everybody. I just wanted to meet everybody. I just wanted to see what they were like. And so that's what we wanted to give you a little bit of a taste of today. Like, who are we? What is GMS? What are we all about? And we are about making sure that your students are successful We're about making sure that your students have fun. Is that okay to say these days? Learning, in my opinion, learning should be fun. My son loved his school, he loved his program. He told me, I told this at the last session, but he told me he wasn't going to take any AP classes in 9th grade. He said, I'm the anti-AP, I don't believe in APs. And I don't know why or where that came from, but I said, okay, fine, that's fine. By the time he was in 11th grade, he had changed his mind, he had researched what AP classes were and the teachers who didn't give as much homework, and he took a bunch of AP classes. So we just want to tailor the program to what suits your family, your students and your family's needs, your goals, your desires, your dreams. So there's this little thing called the pandemic, which has sort of gotten in the way of a lot of our plans, but we have made the best of it that we can, and I've been amazed with what our students and our teachers did last year, even though we were online for a whole year on Zoom. It doesn't even seem real right now that we were online for a whole year on Zoom. So I want to introduce a few of our teachers. I want to introduce one of our parents. She's also an incoming freshman parent, a parent of an incoming freshman like you, and she's already stepped up to volunteer to be our interim president of our booster club, which raises funds for extracurricular things that we hope to do this year. We hope to do field trips. We will definitely have guest speakers, whether it's on Zoom or in person, that we will just see what the year, how it unfolds, but we will do as much as we can of what we normally do. So I'd like to start with Mr. Crossley here, and we're filming this so that parents can see it later who couldn't be here in person. So Mr. Crossley is our video production teacher, and he's filming, so I'll move out of the way.
Okay. First, buy stuff. When we leave here, when I say we leave here, I'm going to take you on a tour of the media center so you can see what that looks like. And since this is a smaller group, this is good. Pram, who's in the back, you'll meet later. I think she's really sad that nobody from the last group bought anything. So on the way out, we can stop by the little store she set up, and I'm sure everybody here would love to have a little GMS t-shirt like Jonathan Lopez over there is displaying, right?
Unfortunately, I don't have one, but you can order one that has your student's name on it.
Oh, there you
Customize
go.
it.
So, buy stuff. All right. We have two teachers that teach in the Media Center, two video production teachers. This was my first year last year at GMS, and then this will be our new teacher's first year this year. So there's a lot of changes going on. Obviously, Ms. Bondi said that John Latimer, who was running the Magnet and was the history teacher, also retired. So a lot of new things going on, a lot of new fresh stuff happening, and I know that you might find the tour of the Media Center pretty interesting. Since this is for 9th grade, everybody will take the video production class. It probably would be taught by the new teacher, but we're kind of going into this year thinking, you know what, maybe we should start everybody on the basics again. If you've had it before, you probably forgot it. If you haven't had it, then it's a good time to do it. So that's it for me. Who's next?
Thank you. I think, let's see, Ms. Manoli, do you want to just say hello?
Hi everyone, my name is Rina Manoli. I'm teaching mathematics and I will teach Algebra 1, Algebra 2 and Geometry. So many of you probably will be in my classes. I'm looking forward to have you in my classes. I'm excited about it. So do not worry, we'll be like a team. I will be there to support you. I care a lot about my students. I love my GMS students that I had previous years. So do not worry, we'll work it together. I've been teaching for 20 years. This is my 3rd year at Cleveland and my 2nd year with GMS, and I just love GMS. I'm very happy to be part of it. It's a great program, so many opportunities to meet professionals from the industry, the film hands-on projects. Oh, they're doing so much for the students. And the teachers are amazing, they're caring so much about students. It's a great community and I'm happy to be part of it. So welcome to GMS. I'm looking forward to seeing you in my class.
Tell me to buy stuff.
Bye, Stas.
She's the only math teacher I know that students, like, they love her so much, they're passionate about math. It's amazing. Ms. Zachary? Oh.
That's right, no?
She told me she was gonna sing.
Did I?
No.
Hi, I'm Miss Thackeray. I teach English 10th and 12th. This is my second year at Cleveland High School. I actually moved here from Las Vegas 4 years ago. Taught over the hill for a while, and I was like, I'm tired of that drive, so I came over here. Love the GMOS program. One of the things that I look for whenever I'm interviewing for a new school is how passionate the teachers are, whoever I'm going to work with, how dedicated they are to excellence, and just kind of like you can get a vibe when you walk into a campus. You can get a vibe that you can tell these people want to be here, these people love kids, these people are passionate about their craft, and they're always looking to improve and work together. And that is definitely the epitome of GMS. We work together on collaborative projects, we feed off each other's ideas, and we love our kids, right? And we like to pull out the best of them, and they pull out the best of us. So, welcome. I look forward to meeting your students, and have an awesome 9th grade year.
She liked us so much, she put her son in our program.
Yes.
That's actually how we met her. Awesome. Yes, come on down, Mr. Segovia. I feel like it's like The Price is Right or something, and I'm like, come on down. You win well, you'll have to pay for it, sorry. Just kidding.
Hello everyone, I'm actually a Cleveland alumni. I'm Mr. Segovia, so I went to school here, so being able to teach now here in the San Fernando Valley is really amazing. I'm excited for it. I teach 10th grade world history, so my big thing with history is that it's not just about memorizing dates, but really being able to create something with what you're learning. And I think here at GMS, you have the perfect opportunity to actually be able to create something that can really last a long time, and you could take with you beyond even just high school. I also come from a middle school, at least teaching a middle school, so I'm sure this transition, going from an entirely online 8th grade and then now being kind of thrown into high school in person must be a little scary, but the good news is that you're going to have some awesome teachers here at GMS, especially in your first year, and then just throughout all 4 of your years here at GMS. So I teach 10th grade history and also 11th grade English. So yeah, we might see me twice. Anyway, that's it for me.
Mr. DiGiorgio, is it DiGiorgio? Sorry. I know you just got married. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm Giovanna DiGiorgio, also known as Mrs. Bonilla now. I did recently get married. And I am the interim president for the Booster Club for GMS. And so I just wanted to take some time to introduce myself as an incoming 9th grade mother. I do have a student in the program, and after hearing everything that I just heard right now, and even the things that I've heard in other Zoom calls, etc., I am so excited about the experiences our children are about to have over the course of the next 4 years. And I really think that one of the best ways that we can be part of that is to be part of the booster. And that doesn't necessarily mean a lot of commitment in time. It doesn't necessarily mean a lot of commitment of money. It sometimes can mean a donation in the form of things that you can give. And sometimes, volunteering or just helping to orchestrate or send out a message or, I don't know, put a flyer together, etc., is the way in which you can provide something to the Booster Club. That said, we do have some seats that we need to fill. Like was mentioned before, I'm the interim president. It's not to say that I will not run to be the president. However, I would be happy to run against any other parent who would like to take that position. There's a couple of other spots available as well in the leadership capacities on the booster. But whether you run for any of those or whether you just participate as a parent and become part of the booster itself, I couldn't encourage it more. These years are going to fly by. I have 3 older children. They're 25, 26, and 29. Berkeley, San Francisco State University, and one that went to Pierce and got her associates while she played volleyball for them. And so I know the importance of what these years turn out to be eventually. And so what we can do is be in this close contact with all the activities going on around the school and help supplement what LAUSD cannot provide these teachers and these facilities. A lot of times it's just extra money for a field trip. It could be for any kind of events, social gathering, etc., or just something to supplement the enrichment that they're getting in this program. And if any of you ever need any information in Spanish, hablo español. Entonces, si no comprenden lo que está en tu email, los emails que están recibiendo, o no están recibiendo los emails porque no tienen email, por cualquier razón necesitan más información, yo lo puedo ayudar con eso también, así saben lo que está pasando en la escuela, etc. Y si no, hablen con sus niños, así ellos que pueden dar la información que reciben en las escuelas o que ellos reciben en sus emails también. Y Jonathan, que está aquí también, él también habla español y él puede ayudar también. Okay, no es mi hijo. It's not my son. But again, I want to encourage you to participate as much as possible because these years will fly by. Before we know it, these kids will be going to prom. It'll be like all these milestones will be occurring, and the Booster Club is a huge part of what we can do to supplement that. So I encourage you to follow and do the same. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Now that you scared you by talking about prom, don't worry, it doesn't go that fast. No, I know, it does go by in the blink of an eye.
merchandise.
And buy merchandise.
Take checks, stash, and credit.
Yes, I remember being in your shoes as parents, like when your child is starting high school. It's pretty scary. It's a huge transition from middle school. I mean, middle school does prepare them, but it's big, but we will take care of your children. They will be fine. They will make friends. They will be protected. They will learn and they will have fun. And I know that because our students tell me that. And so the next up are Jonathan Lopez and Pramadita Medigapola. And I want them to tell you about GMS because actually they've lived it. These students were freshmen in my English class in this very room just 2 years ago, and we started off the year in person, and at the end of the year we finished it on Zoom online, which was very weird, and then we spent a whole year on Zoom. So they have experienced GMS in person and on Zoom, and they did amazing things. They've still learned and grown, and they're still making friends. So I'll let them tell you about GMS.
Okay, so my name is Pramadita Marigapola. You don't need to remember the name. You can also call me Pram. I feel like some students will get to know me later on in the year because I'm like always walking around and always wanting to get into other people's business. But in my freshman year, it was probably one of the best years of my life. My mom chose GMS for me. I wanted to go to core just because all my friends were going into core. But GMS was probably because GMS is a family, so I feel like with how small it is, you get to know everybody, you get to build relationships with your teachers, with other students, and it's like really great for me. I was able to write, direct, and edit a PSA by the end of first semester, so I think you have like lots of opportunities to go above and beyond in what you want to do and really expand your horizons. And you might think like with this program, you're only destined to become a filmmaker or just someone in the film industry. I'm so out of breath, I have to run up here. But I want to become a wildlife veterinarian when I grow up, and I asked my counselor, how am I going to get over to there? And she said GMS is probably like the best program for you because of all the skills you can get, like communication, leadership, all that stuff is from GMS. And I think just being in here was probably like the biggest blessing, and it's like really set me up for my future and how it's going to be in the workspace and how I'm going to be with other people. And yeah, I feel like I'm going to be really great friends with all of you. And once you join KCAB when you're a sophomore, you'll like get to know me better and how bossy I am. And just like, yeah, we'll just build really great relationships. You're going to like GMS a lot.
You should probably explain what KCAB is.
Okay, so KCAB is the news show for Cleveland, and we get put into 4 groups: K, C, A, and V. Jonathan and I were in the same V group, which is like the best and worst idea that's ever happened because we're both like really like competitive students. So we were able to, for this episode, I was able to edit most of the episode and just be a part of it. And it was my birthday episode too. So you just get lots of opportunities where you could just be like front and center and be behind the scenes and in front of the camera. And I think that's what's really great about about GMS and about KCAP is that you can really be a part of it, and you don't have to be in like the background or anything. So yeah, Jonathan's turn. I'm talking to you.
My name is Jonathan. This is gonna be my junior year, so it'd be 3 years in the GMS program. Being in the GMS program is like one of the biggest blessings that's ever happened to me. The teachers are just so amazing. Miss Bondi's room is always open if you ever have any questions, or if you ever need anything, if you need to borrow a pencil for anything, make sure to return it because pencils go missing often. Let's see. Well, I'm just blanking out. This is embarrassing. GMS is really, like Pram said, it's a family. It's very small. It's very close knit. You'll probably get to know a lot of people. You'll make a lot of friends for sure, without a doubt. The teachers are awesome. Everybody really cares about you. Like if you ever have a question, it doesn't matter what class you're in. It could be film, it could be PE, it could be English, it could be math. The teachers will take the time out of their very busy schedules just to help you out. Being in the film pathway is one of my favorite things because we get real experience. Like we've even had a few people from the industry. Like there's a student, his name is Lincoln Jolly. He is in a program on Hulu. Like he's on a TV show, and his parent, I think Lincoln's dad is an actor too, right? A producer or something like that.
As an actor, I think.
Yeah, so his dad is an actor, and
Oh,
so
yeah.
is him, and people from the real industry come here, and then they put their kids here because they trust us, and because we know what we're doing. We do have various equipment in the Media Academy, which we will be taking a tour of later. And if you do have any questions, do not be afraid to ask in English or in Spanish. The equipment we have is pretty massive. We do editing on Final Cut Pro 10. We have Canons, and well, we have mostly Canons. We have green screens. We have props and makeup. We have sets. We have professional equipment, and this is like the real deal. Like this is almost the closest thing you will ever get to like not a Hollywood set, but like the real film industry. And I can say without a doubt that this will prepare me if I do decide to go into the film industry. And I'm just glad that I am in this program, because although there are new teachers here, I've never been with Mr. Segovia in a class before because it's his first year here in GMS, but I just know that he's I trust him. Like I know that he's gonna be a good teacher. I feel very confident in the way that he's gonna teach, and I hope that you guys feel confident as this will be your first year in GMS. And if you ever do see me around the campus, feel free to ask me any questions. Like I'm a very open guy. Like you can just talk about life and stuff.
And then I also wanted to talk about the teachers. The work, for me, I feel like there was a lot being put on to me, but it was so easy that it didn't even feel like anything. And the way it was so fun, like with Miss Thackeray, we were given a spoken word poem, and I was able to really like go above and beyond with what I wanted to do because I was able to like speak my mind. With Miss Manoli, we were given art projects, and we were just shown ways to understand math, and just like a way that you want to like math, but just like not with me in geometry. Mr. Segovia, I've never had him, but I am gonna have him next year. Miss Bondi, I had her in 9th grade, and she was probably like the greatest teacher because she has those little talks with you and like mental health check-ins, and you just feel really at home, and it just feels like you're not even going to school. You're just having like a little party with your friends where you're sitting at.
Well, we're not partying either. We are learning.
Yeah, well, like that's also an educational party. But yeah, that's it.
No, to add on what Pram said, like with an experience that I had in 8th grade, I did not like reading, I did not like writing, well, essays were okay, but I didn't like English. And with my first and only year with Miss Bondi, just having her as a teacher just made me love English. I went over and I went above and beyond when it came to essays. I even read a book. I mean, like, it's not surprising that I read a book. It's just the fact that we had an English assignment and we had to read a book, and then we had 2 options. And even after reading that book, I'm like, all right, give me another one. I did not like reading. And the way that Miss Bondi teaches is just so welcoming and so comforting. Like you feel safe, and that's like a big thing that I like to emphasize. And these teachers are just so understanding. Miss Thackeray, she opened her office hours to me. She took the time out of her very busy schedule to help you, and including Mr. Crosley. Like they will help you. They're very understanding. They're very kind, as well as like they will help you with homework. Like don't be afraid. Like this is the time to do better because after this is college. So really just put in some effort and don't be afraid to like ask questions. It's big questions.
some of you seem surprised that we're talking so well about our magnet, but that's how good it is at GMS. So you'll like it a lot.
You will have a lot of fun. It is freshman year. They'll take it slightly easy on you, but at the same time, it isn't kindergarten. You will be having to actually do assignments, and you will have to do work. It'll be a lot of fun. In the filmmaking class, you will be doing a little bit of everything. That's my big emphasis. You will do everything. There's filming behind the camera and in front of the camera. You will probably have to act this year. There's editing. We'll do a lot of editing on Final Cut Pro 10, and then even which counts as post-production. We will have to write our own scripts, both for in KCAV and your first year, because you have to take filmmaking your first year. So you will have to write your own scripts. The teachers will not do it for you. They will help you, but they will not do it for you. And even after that, you will be is it group? I don't know. You'll be on the set. Like everybody will have to do something. You're not just gonna be sitting there on your phone or drinking water or checking Instagram or whatever. You will be working. So just be excited and be prepared for that. Maybe do some research, watch a few movies before summer ends. It's gonna be fun. I really hope you guys like it.
And remember to buy merchandise.
Buy merchandise. Online, cash, and checks made out to the GMS Booster Club.
Nice.
Woo!
Just in case you think it's all fun and games, we did want to show you a little bit of an
So,
episode of KCAV.
This is an episode that we did during quarantine. We will be doing it in person this year.
Oh, you did start it back there already. Okay. Yeah, so they make it sound like it's all fun and games, which is great, but they're also learning so much. During the pandemic on Zoom, without all of the equipment at the media center that you're going to see, they managed to put together a weekly episode of KCAV, our student broadcast. You do have to apply for KCAV. It's not something that you have to do, but it's something that the students want to do and can do if they choose it.
And you're eligible after your freshman year.
Yeah, for sophomore year, but definitely students.
Yeah, give me 5 minutes.
Okay, you might recognize some of these people. Okay. Is that the beginning?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll turn the lights on. Like, they did this all from home, but I was so amazed.
Hey, what is up, Cavs? It's Pramaditha. And Brianna here with your KCAV news.
Can you believe that this week we celebrated Earth Day?
I know, it's my favorite week of the year. Taking care of the earth that takes care of us. How perfect.
You are so right. When I get old, I'm gonna be a plant grandma. My cute little succulents in one corner and my hanging plants in another.
That's not a bad idea. But speaking of old, let's go to the next best thing. Senior news.
Hey Cavs, it's Maddie here. This week's senior news. Pierce College will be hosting a senior parent night next Thursday on April 29th. They will be informing incoming students and parents about their successful transfer and career pathways. The Zoom meeting information can be found on the Class of 2021 Schoology page. Also, make sure to keep an eye out next Tuesday, April 27th for your senior Disney Day. You can dress up as your favorite character or just post them on your Instagram page. Check out the Cleveland Class of 2021 Instagram page for more information. That's it for this week's senior news. Now, back to your host.
Brianna, what is going on over there?
Just trying to organize this humongous pile of paper. Second semester's been hitting really hard, not just for me, but for all of our tabs. These need to go into the trash.
No, it's Earth Week. Remember, pull yourself together. Lucky for you, and every Cavalier are dealing with the same issue, I know one way to put all that outrageous paper to use.
Every week we post one, and it takes about a week to make one. I feel like I'm missing something. There's something important about KCAV.
Okay, so first of all, that is an unflattering compliment. Second of all, we also write every single script for KCAV. So for this show, I had to write a 1-minute script. No, 7-minute script for KCAV just to host.
Senior news and then college news, right? We have those three. So every week you get to cast people, and you'll give them their scripts, and they'll do that. And you also have 3 options in this program. You have filmmaking, which is what Mr. Crosley does, where we make a film every semester. We have animation with Mr.
Katie.
Katie,
Yes.
who unfortunately isn't here today. And then lastly, we have KCAP, which is this. And I've signed up to do this for this year and my senior year, which is pretty fun. It's you get to do a little bit of everything. No matter where you are, you will do filmmaking without a doubt. But in KCAP as well, you get to edit. You get to be in front of the camera. You can be in back of the camera, and you can also write scripts. Everybody has some sort of a role to do. There will be time off, but you'll always be working, and it'll be fun. It'll be definitely worth it. It's very fun. It's one of the greatest things I've decided to do with my life. At first, I was extremely skeptical because I wanted to be an engineer, and we'll see how that works out. But luckily, my mom signed me up for GMS, and I'm just so glad that she did. Like, it's one of the best things that I've ended up doing with my life. It's just so full of gifts it's the gift that never stops giving. To put it in better words.
We didn't even pay him.
Actually, I did.
Okay, well, that's awesome.
Oh, by March too.
Does anyone have any questions of the students or of us teachers? Any specific questions? Yes.
For those students that are interested in animation, do they have to, like, can they be in the 9th grade, or do they have to be?
I think that they can. We do want everyone to have the video production class their freshman year, but if they have room in their schedule, they can also take animation. I've seen students do that. Sometimes they have a little flexibility on when they take PE, and but that's definitely something to talk to the counselor about, because I've seen students that were freshmen and they had animation also. Yeah, and sometimes you can take classes, like my son would take a class in the summer at summer school to get it out of the way so that he could take an elective during the school year. So he took social studies one year, I think it was before his 11th grade year, so that he could have 2 more fun electives his junior year. But that is an option, to take some classes during summer school for enrichment and then to have more electives during the school year.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Any other questions in English and/or Spanish?
Yeah.
Any from the students?
We answered all your questions, or you're just overwhelmed with information?
Go ahead.
On the technical side, because he's more like on the tech side.
Of course.
What falls under that?
So under the technical side, we do have the people like behind the camera. We have what are called grips. Those guys get the microphone and they just put it over, and the people that are in charge of like the equipment. And if you're talking about technicality, I don't know if this also falls under there. We use Final Cut Pro 10, which is on MacBooks, and we use that to edit our movies. And we also have we're gonna have a sound effects library. We also have music that we can download off YouTube, as long as it's non-copyright. That's a big thing, or else YouTube will strike us down. But there's a lot of opportunities for him to do. He can be a gaffer. He can set up the camera. I don't know if you're into cameras, but he can do the cameras. That's mainly what I was into. That's like almost all I did. But luckily, I got to do a little bit of everything. You will do a little bit of everything. You don't have to act, but sometimes they'll be like, "Come on, do it."
Jonathan has so much energy. He just volunteered to be the photo editor for the school newspaper in his spare time freshman year. I was like, okay, that was awesome.
And if you want to join KCAP too, that you can go to KCAP for your sophomore year and apply for the tech part, where you have to edit a video and then audition that way. And then once you kind of get into KCAP more, you can become a tech head, which makes you the leader of all things tech in KCAP.
There are 2 sides of KCAP, as Param reminded me. There, you can audition. So it doesn't matter what group, what pathway you're in. You can get people from core, from SAS, from the residentials, and you can apply for either on-air talent, which is the people that are on air in front, or you can be a tech. You can go behind, you can edit, you can do all the camera. You don't have to do everything for KCAP, but you will. You will get a little bit of everything. So
I saw a question in the back.
Yeah, so you mentioned you're using Final Cut Pro, I assume that's a Mac?
That's a Mac, yeah.
Yeah, so you creative types are always into Macs, you know, if you're an engineer, you'll appreciate that Windows has probably got 90% market share still. So we're wanting to know, are there any free options, you know, for editing work that they can use at home while they're not in school in the studio?
Well,
my research has uncovered something called Blender.
Actually, if you don't mind, I'll answer that.
Go ahead.
Let's take the tour. You'll see what the setup looks like. We have a couple computer labs and all that computer space is available to the students. We'll have to see how it goes because we are Mac-based, and we teach only one way to edit, which is on Final Cut Pro. But that's something we can talk about on an individual basis also. So,
But, I don't-
we're evolving, so we're everything's changing.
I'm not sure if Mr. Crowley is going to be doing this year, but in previous years, to my knowledge, we can take out a MacBook. If you so desperately need to edit at home, if you're on a deadline or such, you can take out a MacBook, put whatever you've done so far on a flash drive, go home, use the MacBook as homework, and then bring it back the next day.
I also had a Chromebook in the beginning of my sophomore year, so I had to edit with that. I use WeVideo, but you do have to pay. It does have unlimited storage if you pay for like a little bit more, but it's so useful. Mr. Cossey doesn't really like it that much, but like it's really good.
Like, this is just our personal thing.
Yeah.
Like what Mr. Crowley says is the law in this case. But I use DaVinci Resolve. That's what I use on Windows. Windows. But
What did you say?
DaVinci Resolve.
Okay.
But
That's free.
yeah, it's free. You like in my I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm not sure if Mr. Crowley's doing this, but you can rent out a MacBook.
Okay, so you guys have never used Blender then?
No, not Blender.
Heard of it? Haven't used it.
Isn't that for VFX?
So I was in the video games industry and Unreal Engine and what's the other one? Unity. I mean, they've become basically de facto standards. So almost everybody uses them in the real industry now, or have been forever. Up until about 4 or 5 years ago, you had to pay millions of dollars to license that if you want to make a game for it. But now it's basically free. So if you're a company of under $100,000 annual revenue, then basically you get to use it for free. You can publish your game for free. So I'm assuming, well, I came across Blender because Blender is both for creating 3D graphics, but it's also getting a lot of high marks in various websites for doing video editing, which I was really surprised at. So we can just open one out. But my point is that I guess what people used to consider pro software for making real stuff you see on TV or play real games, stuff you pay a lot of money for as a consumer. In many cases, it's now free.
Well, everything's been democratized, so really it's the idea, it's not the tools that really make it important. So we teach Final Cut Pro because it's on the computers, and if we try to teach more than one kind of application, it can get confusing.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, it's the principles. The technology is going to change, inevitably, but the principles of editing, I'm sure, are what the students will take away from the program. The principles of good editing.
It's just good storytelling.
Yeah, good storytelling.